The market is heading for a difficult period, and if you are an investor and wondering which way to go, then you can go over the investment strategy of one of the best in the business, Bill Gates. Bill Gates is deciding to sell all his stocks. Why should you be alarmed? To know what are his reasons, well, all you need to do is stay tuned. It is a difficult time to be an investor with the market inflation rising and the value of stocks plummeting. So, what you do as an investor, whether you should sell or wait for this to pass? Well, maybe the wisdom of Bill Gates will help you direct your course through the difficult market. Eventually will result in an economic slowdown. So I am afraid that the bears on this one seem to have a pretty strong argument that concerns me a lot. Hello, and welcome to the channel today. We are going to talk about the strategy that Bill Gates is employing to weather this economic crisis. If you find this information useful, please drop a like and share it with your friends who are in need. Before we begin, let us remind you that this video shouldn't be considered to be equivalent to professional financial advice, but purely based on our research and opinion. Unless you are living under a rock, you will know that there is a brewing economic crisis, and the market has not been feeling all too well in the recent few months. Inflation has been skyrocketing the past few months. The consumer sentiment or overall feeling of what consumers feel about the health of the U.S. economy has not been on the good side of things for a while. The consumers in the capitalist economy have, as you would expect, very low savings rate, which means more money is being spent or more demand for comparatively lesser supply. Further, Russia and Ukraine war has caused fuel prices to shoot among other commodities. There was a massive amount of money that was poured into the economy by the government, and therefore now it needs to get all that money to control inflation. The problem can be explained to be a double-edged sword. One sharp edge is inflation rising quickly, and the sharp edge is the debt that is in the economy. There are two possible ways to escape this deadlock. One, they can devalue the US dollar to an extent that they escape their debt, or else they let the economy through the recession and hopefully not crash it to burst the bubble. The Federal Reserve has decided to take the second option, so there is the market and has raised the interest rate by 75 points, the greatest increase in the last 3 decades. This means that there is going to be much greater expense to borrow for individuals, or else also for businesses to find investments. There could be a possible case scenario where the interest increase can make the debt bubble will burst and enters into recession and worse into depression. Bill Gates believes that now, after the pandemic has swept across the world, U.S. government needed to take debt to help the economy float. The same caused supply chain disruptions, and now Russia-Ukraine war has only accentuated this problem. So, there is no way out, and such is the issue at hand, that there will be a definite economic slowdown. Bill Gates proposes that there is a bearish situation, as there is a connection between the price surging in oil prices. There is also going to be a period of recession in the U.S. economy. Whenever Brent crude oil price goes above $100, there will also be a recession as well. Currently, the price is $120 per barrel, and the bear theory is going to be saying that there is a recession. Why does it happen? The fuel price becomes a reduction in the consumer's expendable income. As the consumer has a lesser amount of money after paying for their gas needs, and then their budget is restricted. That is going to affect the consumer sentiment. After all, they are going to spend lesser in the economy, which then reduces the GDP. Consumer sentiment has been the lowest ever since the 2008 recession, according to the University of Michigan. So, what do you do as an investor who is stuck in a crisis about what to do? And you can learn from the man himself, Bill Gates. So, what he is doing is that he has been selling his stocks to get ready for this difficult period. You might be familiar with his achievements as Microsoft CEOs, but he has been also racking up capital growth in the stock. He has been able to grow his capital to $50 million over the past couple of decades. In fact, he has been able to combine his wits with his fund manager Michael Larson, and was able to do great for themselves when they equipped themselves for the recession caused in the U.S. economy due to the dot-com bubble. Gates believes that the Federal Reserve created its own trap, and now they have entered it. So, these pair know what they are doing when they are preparing themselves for what many believe will be a definite recession and are ready to sell their stocks. They knew that in 2021, after the pandemic has been ending, there was speculation that there is going to be a period of major growth, which didn't translate into the next year in 2022. So, they have started to prepare for the inevitable already by preparing various hedging strategies. They are attempting to short the stock, which doesn't need to be told to the public, as is the case with the long position. The SEC has not been able to change the saying, but then Gates doesn't have to tell the public at that time. We do, however, know that there is a short position against the Tesla stock by the Gates Fund. Gates seems to have a $1 billion short position, and he has not decided to close down the short position yet. Although for Elon Musk's Tesla the growth has been amazing, this is the reason why. There has been a gradual increase in the short position of Gates in the same. NFT like Bored Ape Yacht Club increased substantially for most of 2021, then fell by 80% in just 2 months. There is definitely a lot of potential in the Ethereum platform, doing well in the long term. Gates has been critical of such fewer utility projects increasingly doing well. He says he prefers companies that fall into an asset class, such as a farm where they have an output and they make products. He says, where it has at its heart sort of this anonymity, that you avoid taxation or any sort of government rules about kidnapping fees or things. The S&P 500 has reached a 15% high as compared to the pre-pandemic levels. Although Gates thinks that it will not remain the same, as there is a chance it will fall. There was a lot better economic activity before the pandemic, and there was a better consumer sentiment. A lot has changed and consumer sentiment has fallen, and the supply chain is in shambles. Barely printing money and making no structural changes to the economy is not going to be sufficient for the economy to go back to the economic levels of pre-pandemic levels. Gates has also iterated that the pandemic is not finished yet, at all unlike what many people have assumed. He has told the Financial Times in his interview that there is a possibility there will come a more powerful variant that will create much stronger transmissibility in the disease. Gates believes that people's behavior has changed after the pandemic, whether it is regarded it as taking a vacation and traveling someplace or going out for a dine out, because there is still some concern about the contraction of a disease. He believes that there is a need for people to be able to believe that there is no more possibility that they will contract the virus by being more outgoing and spending more unless necessary. He asserts, unless we get there, no one should believe that the government can just wave a wand and all of a sudden, the economy is anything like it was before this happened. That awaits either a miracle therapeutic that has an over 95% cure rate or broad usage of the vaccine. He says that the same will take a lot of time, as there is a demand-side shock and a supply-side shock. Demand is restricted by the fear of being positive of a pandemic-inducing virus, the effect of many people losing their jobs and complete industries, which provided scores of people employment, not being able to work at full capacity yet as it used to in the economy before the pandemic struck us. Gates has been selling his assets at an alarming rate. He has been selling stocks in many companies he owns, including the $1.3 billion he owned in Berkshire Hathaway, owned by Warren Buffett. He also sold a $500 million stake in the Caterpillar. Michael Larson is said to be the biggest player at hand here for the reason that Gates is selling his share. He has been known to be able to maximize the market factor called risk-adjusted return, or as it is dubbed in the investment world, alpha. Gates had been relatively unscathed during the 2008 recession because of the strategies employed by Larson, which he hasn't exactly explained to the public. Yet documents do reveal that he loves to emulate one of the best in the business, the one and only Warren Buffett. He tries to invest in companies that will be least affected by an economic slowdown of such a nature, such as Waste Management Co., or diversifying into other asset classes. For this reason, Bill Gates owns the largest area of farmlands in all of the US. It's the end of the video. See you next time. Bye-bye.